In our first set of modules, we discussed some of the primary examples of what we might think of as the techniques of the architectural imagination. We discussed typology, which allows comparison of deep formal structures of architectural projects. We talked about the system of perspective, again understood as a formal construction that links subject to object. And we saw how these formal constructs can be used both by the historian as analytical tools and by the designer as ways of rationalizing architectural decisions. Then we discussed how these formal constructs must always be understood as arising in history, as carrying values and ways of understanding that arise in history, but they're not exhausted by those historical origins. Architecture is deeply historical, but it also exceeds its formative origins. It produces memories, but it also produces possible futures. So we have architecture as an aesthetic construct, and we have architecture as being deeply implicated in history. In the next three modules, we'll focus on how architecture has a fundamental relation to materiality. We'll look at how it uses the technical advance of materials for construction, mainly iron, steel, and glass, but also reinforced concrete. And we'll look at the modern development of industrial building components and how architecture uses that to advance its own expressive possibilities. We'll discuss how technology gets mediated by the compositional and typological intentions and operations of the architectural imagination.